today's lessons is about the famines, earthquakes, and pestilences during the CIS. On April 26, 1986, an accident at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, located about 80 miles (130 kilometers) north of Kyiv, Ukraine, in what was then the Soviet Union, released a dangerous cloud of radiation into the atmosphere. And the accident occurred when a series of miscalculations during an experiment permitted neutrons build up in one part of the core, where the nuclear reaction went out of control and caused a meltdown. And the resulting explosion blew the lid off the reactors and hurled 100 tons of radioactive debris into the atmosphere. The disaster killed 31 people immediately. Residents living within 19 miles of the plant were evacuated, but explosion and fire carried much of the radiation to higher altitude, where it spread across much of the northern hemisphere. And contaminated soil and trees were removed from the zone around the plants. Authorities have admitted that several million people are still living on contaminated ground, and an estimated 8,000 people have died from the radiation, including diseases in the disaster, and health officials estimate another 10,000 more deaths may occur. Cleanup crews quickly built a steel and concrete shell around the destroyed reactor, but radiation levels were so high around the plant that photographers were unable to film the reactor because their film was destroyed. Within days, the deadly fallout began rain down on neighboring nations, and radiation poisoning was especially severe in the Republic of Belarus, just north of the Chernobyl reactor. And an earthquake in Armenia on December 7, 1988, measured 6.9 on the Richter scale. The city of Leninaken, with a population of 290,000, was nearly leveled, and at least 32 mountain villages were totally destroyed. An estimated 25,000 people were killed, 15,000 injured, and 400,000 left homeless. And the city of Nevgorsk on the southern end of Sakhalin Island in Russia was hit by an earthquake on May 28, 1995, and measuring 7.5 on the Richter scale. The earthquake killed more than 1,800 people. Seismologists had believed that no earthquake stronger than 5.5 could hit Sakhalin. So that's all about the famines, earthquakes, and pestilences during the CIS. And I'm going to share a short one about the spiritual awakening. So when Mikhail Gorbachev introduced his policy of glasnost and perestroika, persecution of believers, which had been common under communism, abated, the churches experienced a more rapid growth. All evangelical churches, including Russian Orthodox, Baptist, Lutherans, and Pentecostal, are experiencing spiritual revivals. And there are an estimated 50 million and possibly as many as 100 million believers in the CIS. And on July 1, 1990, School of Tomorrow staff addressed a huge crowd at a church in Moscow. People eager to hear about biblical education had packed the auditorium until there was no room to sit or even stand. And in September 1990, their first school using School of Tomorrow curriculum opened in Moscow, and by 1995, there were more than 100 schools, and some of which were learning center in government school in the CIS. So that's all the lessons about the spiritual awakening have been going during the CIS.